I started bird watching when I was 6 years old with Grandpa George. We would watch the birds at his feeders, identify them, and talk about them as often as I'd visit him. As I grew older, we started exploring his local area more and more. My name is Ezekiel Jacob, and birds are and they have been a passion for a very long time. Since that first time my grandfather showed me birds, I was addicted. Growing older, I started birding farther and farther afield, and more often by myself. Rarely did I go anywhere without my binoculars, even on family vacations. I noticed that not all the birds stayed in the winter. I started asking questions about where did all the birds go? Well, I learned then what migration was, and that some of our birds went to places like Mexico, Bermuda, Jamaica, and all throughout Central and South America. These discoveries were eye-opening, making the world of birds even more interesting. It fueled my newly discovered scientific heart. I started asking questions, learning how to create what's called a hypothesis, and test that hypothesis, collect the data, and analyze it. My obsession went so far as to design, create, and even execute research on crow communication. I wanted to know how they develop their repertoire. I was awarded a United States Fish and Wildlife permit to raise young crows in a laboratory environment and track how they learned. This research went on to win high honors at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and the International Science Fairs. Years later, my passion and commitment to birds hasn't changed, only that I've expanded my research to include international conservation projects. Many of the breeding birds in the United States utilize foreign lands for wintering grounds. Knowing where, what condition, and what species inhabit these lands is of the utmost importance. Neotropical bird conservation is truly what I'm about. When most people think about Central American bird conservation in Panama, they don't necessarily think of the urban jungle, the city. Yet, even in the city, on our research plots, we're regularly seeing a wide and surprising variety of migrant and resident species.
My name is Rosabel Miró. I am the Executive Director of Panama Audubon Society. Many migrants use Panama as a stop oversight, mostly because we are this land bridge that joins North and South America. We are this small piece of land that still have a lot of forests for receiving all of these forest migrants. So all of these geographical attributes makes this country a very important place for migratory birds. Aunque cambie de cartera y te ponga ropa nueva, siempre será la rumbera.
Because of Panama's size, roughly equivalent to that of South Carolina, all habitats are important to conserve, from forests, savannas, highlands, and even the cityscapes. Our current research has shown a wide variety of migrant and resident species utilizing these urban areas throughout Panama City, which begs the question, what are we as conservationists doing to help develop these urban green spaces? And Panamanian biologists agree.
My name is Melba Olmos. I am a Panamanian wildlife biologist, and I work for Panthera, a wildcat conservation NGO. Urban conservation in Panama is extremely important. With such a small landmass in our country and with much development occurring, urban areas can be a new target for conservation. Green areas for humans, animals, and birds in the city is becoming more and more important for individual and ecological health. Many migrant and resident birds utilize small patches of habitat within the city. Further development of these small green areas in the city could prove vital for some migrant species.
Green spaces like this one in the city provide small islands of resources for urban fauna. If developed, we will lose a vital, usable habitat for birds. Panama City currently has a large number of green spaces, but rapid development is quickly taking over these habitat patches throughout our research areas. Collecting data, working with local corporations and businesses, and teaching the importance of birds and of a healthy ecological system are integral parts of our work. Data from our city plots already show species disappearances. Blue-winged teal, a migratory species, southern lapwing, a resident, among dozens of other species used to use this field, which has recently been developed into a parking lot. They are no longer recorded in this area. Rosy-thrush tanager, a secretive bird that requires a well-developed brush layer, has also been recorded and disappeared from recently developed areas in the city. Golden-winged warblers, a near-threatened species, has been found on several plots throughout the city. However, those which were recently developed now lack this species altogether. A well-protected urban ecological system is not only good for the flora and fauna that it supports, but also for human health. Mangroves help filter toxins and mitigate floods. Forests create oxygen and support wildlife, and wildlife maintain biodiversity.
Oye, China, pero suéltame ya, que tú eres como una piedra en el...
Our work has started but is not yet finished. We have shown that habitat patches in Panama City can and do support a wide variety of migrant and resident bird species, but more work is required to protect and build up the existing green spaces before they are all developed.
Mátala, 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 mátala.